Welcome back to Daybreak Extra on Trust TV. Well, we just got to look at the newspapers, talked about a couple of headlines there, and dissected a few stories. And just like we said before we left on that break, we are having a discussion in the studio, and our guest is actually here. So we talked about the International Day of Women and breaking biases and whatnot. And even last week, we alluded to the fact that we spoke about a female Tyler, women who are actually making waves when it comes to male-dominated endeavors. So they don't only face the infamous glass ceiling, as we always say, we break the glass ceiling and whatnot, and they move up the ranks, but they further encircled by glass walls as well because of what society actually makes them to be. So it is very challenging for them to enter more profitable, traditionally male-dominated sectors because, like it or not, most of these sectors that we actually consider as male-dominated are really, really profitable, and lots of women would like to get in on that action as well. So, but ladies, a lot of ladies are actually trying to do as much as they can to see that they cross the carpet and get into these spheres of life and take up these businesses, take up these works so that they can actually get a piece of that pie as well. So right here in the studio, we have a 24-year-old.
27.
Okay, well.
24 was a long time ago.
All right, a lady here in her 20s, all right, who has decided to take up the art of furniture making, and which is something that predominantly we actually believe it's for the male. It's male dominated. A lot of men actually do that, but it's very rare for you to actually find a female furniture maker. So right here in the studio we have Hafsa Umar, who is a carpenter slash furniture maker.
Yeah, and an interior designer as well.
An interior designer
Yeah.
as well. So actually missed that out.
Yes.
Oh, those hands don't actually look like, she actually, hits a nail with a hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't look that way.
It
Exactly.
doesn't, it's not in the
But you
hand.
do?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So how do you like to be described? Do you like to be described as a carpenter, or do you like the fancy toga of furniture designer?
No, I'm actually an interior designer.
Okay.
Yes. I'm actually, I studied interior design as a course.
Okay.
So, professionally, I'm an interior designer. Furniture making happened as a result of, I like to craft things. I have a very wild imagination when it comes to, how I want a place to look like or how I want a place to, be. So in order for you to actually be a successful interior designer, you have to have that wild imagination. And that's where I started to do the carpentry aspect of it, because most of the things I would want to put in a space or in a house is in my head. I'll have to craft it out. So that's why it came. I did not study carpentry, it just as a result of what I do.
Okay, so now, in as much as you studied, interior designing, definitely, it's just one path, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to doing the job, you need a lot of creativity.
Of course.
Yeah, and like you said, you have a wild imagination, which we heard is actually a form of mental illness, by the way.
Yes, actually, it could be a symptom.
Yeah,
It could be a symptom.
of a mental illness. But then you're using it for good. How do these ideas come?
Honestly, I can't tell you how they come. They just come. Mostly when I design a house, I like to visualize what I'm doing. So if it's an empty space, I would like to go into the empty space and visualize it. So the ideas come there and there. Because if I see a wall, I would love to have a shelf there. No, I would love to have a console here. So I like to be in a room and visualize the room, visualize the final product of the room, and then that's how the ideas come. When I stand in an empty space.
Okay, but then how do you bring one's idea to reality?
That's what consultations are for. I talk with people. It's really hard being in people's heads.
Exactly.
Because everyone has an idea of what they want. So when I have a consultation with a client, he would tell me this. The first question I usually ask a client is what they want. Most of them don't even know what they want. So they'll tell you they don't really know, I like something simple. So then I'll move forward to, okay, what are your colors? What colors make you feel at home? What colors do you like to see when you come home? What colors are relaxing to you? So that way, when we discuss and we, file out everything that they want, I get in their head and I'll try to be them for the meantime and bring out whatever it is that is in their head into reality.
So have you ever been in a situation where, after bringing it out, your customers don't like, what you come out with?
Yes.
And what do you do after that?
I tried to let them know that I didn't do this. I used the information to create what I created. But if there's anything that they did not like after the finished product is done, we try as much as possible to, to
find a compromise?
Yes, basically. to find something that would make them happy, rearrange it or change it, or something that they want, because most of them don't know what they want. So when we do it, they complain, okay, I don't like this. Okay, what do you like to see here? But that gives them, because it's a finished product, that gives them an idea of what they would want to see there or what they don't want to see there.
So when you design a room,
yeah,
or when you design a place, when you do that, what takes precedence? Is it what the customer wants or your own vision of what you see there?
To be honest, it's what the space wants.
Okay, the space itself.
Yes, the space itself.
Okay.
Because every space is different. You can't design a two-bedroom house. I always have this problem with a customer. They would see a house I design, and then you would say they want exactly like it. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to come out exactly the same, because the foundation is different. Okay. The way the house is different. The sizes are not the same. So if you're going to ask me to do exactly what you see in another man's house, it's not going to be possible. And that's why I put the space first, then the customer second. So I try to navigate between what the space needs and what the customer needs, and try to bring, a professional final say to it and navigate. Okay, you want to see your house like that person's house, but your house is not the same. Okay, why don't we do this on this side and do this on this side? So we talk about it and air it out.
Well, isn't this,
basically.
Where technology actually comes into play, if they have the idea, you just work on it on the system and, show it to them.
Yeah, of course, we do a CGI all the time. But most customers, because you pay for CGIs, and our Nigerian people, they would, because consultation is payment, CGI is payment, the whole process is payment, installation is payment. So when you give them your cost, they will look at it and be like, okay, let's remove this. You know what I want, just go ahead and do it. But the customers that go with CGI imaging, we give it to them, and then we adjust whatever it is that the problem is. And then, it's easier for us to work that way. But, Nigerians, they like to cut corners.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, we always like to, there's an easier way of doing everything. Let's just say that. We'll try to look at the easy way of doing things. So basically, you're trying to say the space speaks to you.
Yes. You can say that.
Yes, so you're like the space whisperer.
You can say that, yeah.
All right. So it's the space first, then what the customer wants second, and then your own vision.
Yes.
Your own.
Then I put
touch.
together the space, what the space wants and what the customer wants, and then I vision it to, I bring it out to reality.
Oh, but what if there's a clash?
That's where we
wins?
air it out. That's
Who
where we
wins?
keep discussing, and that's why the consultation is important when it comes to designing a space. It takes a whole lot of time in order to. It's not that kind of thing that you would see. That's why I make my furniture from scratch, because it's not that kind of thing that you have a 2-bedroom house and I'll just go and shop for furniture and come and place it for you.
Okay.
I'm an interior designer. I'm supposed to design the space for you.
Okay. So, now that you talked about making furniture from scratch, I know a lot of people that say, okay, fine, I'm a designer, I do this, I do that, but they just design.
Okay.
That's what they do. They don't fabricate, they don't craft. Do you get into the grime yourself?
Yes, I do sometimes, but not all the time, honestly.
Okay.
Because I have people that do that for me.
Okay.
Sometimes when I imagine something, no matter how hard I explain it, because you're not in my head, you won't understand how I want it. Sometimes my staff will do it. I would say it didn't, it's not what I wanted. They'll do it again, they'll do it again. At the end of the day, I'll just say, I'm just gonna go do it myself. So sometimes I really do it. I sketch it and go to the workshop and cut them down.
Okay.
And make them into a piece.
Okay, but it's not as frequent as...
No, it's not frequent. I hardly do it because they're intelligent people.
Okay.
So when I tend to explain, they tend to grab on.
Okay.
The little things that they don't grab on, I go do it myself.
But when you started out, you were actually doing it yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now, as
Yes,
you've
of
graduated
course.
to being CEO now, you don't want to get your hands dirty.
No, that's not it. It's just I have to allow them to learn. I
Okay.
don't have to always do it myself.
All right. Now you talked about furniture making. I'm actually interested in that. Tell me some of it's actually a male-dominated area, that
Yeah.
aspect. Tell me some of the challenges you faced so far and how you're able to, navigate.
Honestly, I haven't faced a lot of challenges because for me, my family is one of the different Ario family kind of. They're strict, but they're not very Ario-ish.
Okay.
So, my parents allowed me to do whatever it is that I wanted to do as far as it's not illegal. That kind of thing. You want to be an interior designer, you want to be a furniture maker, you want to construct buildings, go ahead, do it. It's, so I never allowed, for me, it's the outside society. And I never allowed that to get to me. As far as my parents, my immediate family is good with whatever it is that I'm doing, you can say what you want to say. It's not going to stop me from doing anything. So I didn't really have any challenges when it comes to me running a furniture company as a female, honestly.
Okay, but what about competition, other competitions? Because there was a time, when interior designing started in Nigeria, there are lots of people coming out as interior designs, How do you motivate yourself? How do you keep pushing despite other interior designers out there?
I love what I'm doing. It's a passion for me. Interior design didn't just start when I graduated university. I think it goes back to when I was very little, because if my mom were here, she would tell you I always used to move around her furniture in the house trying to see what the perfect angle is. I am very... If it's not in the perfect angle, it's disturbing to me. So I try to always put stuff...
PTSD.
That's OCD.
OCD, sorry.
That's so I always
symptom.
try to rearrange. I'm always rearranging, and it's frustrating if I don't get it on that particular angle. So, interior design just goes way back from when I was very little. So when I told my dad I wanted to be an interior designer, yes, as a typical, Nigerian family, is okay. He was okay with me being an interior designer, but he wanted me to have a professional course. And that's why I think I studied sociology and anthropology, just to get that out of the way so that I would do what I wanted to do. So for me, it was passion. So no matter the competition, I always, it's work day is fun day for me all the time. So I don't get tired of doing it. I don't get to wake up one day and be like, I don't want to go to work, because it's always exciting. I'm always meeting new people. I'm always creating new designs. So that's what just keeps me going every day.
So you get to do what you love and get paid for it.
Yes, exactly.
Sounds fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it sounds like one. That's the dream, actually. Yeah,
is.
that's the dream. That's what everybody aspires to. I think that's what everybody should aspire to.
Exactly.
So you have employees, or you have trainees, or...
I have them all. I have employees.
Okay.
And I have people I work on contract basis with.
Okay.
And I have trainees as well.
All right. So how large is your?
I
your
think
staff
my
strength?
staff strength is about 50-something now.
Really?
I'm not sure, yeah.
Okay. So do you have like a factory?
Yes.
Okay.
I have like a factory. It's in Kaduna.
Oh, really?
I think your team has been there before.
Oh, in Kaduna.
Yes.
No, I thought it was in Abuja. So you create these, furnitures in Kaduna and, bring them.
Yes,
or
I'm
take
currently working in another factory here,
Okay.
but it's still, baby step. It's still at the, early stages. But yeah, I'm planning on moving actually the brand, the company back to Abuja, like the headquarters should be in Abuja because most of my clients are here.
Okay.
So most of the work gets delivered here.
Okay.
So I don't want to have, would still have our Kaduna branch, but I want the Abuja branch to be the main branch. But, setting up a new factory all over again is taking too much time.
Okay, so how has patronage been so far, especially in Kaduna?
It's like I said, my clients are mostly here in Abuja.
Well, you have some in Kaduna.
Yes, I have some. I would share my client based on like 80-20. 80% is in Abuja.
Oh wow. That's
And
nice.
20% is spread all over the rest of Nigeria, kind of. So I get people, but they're not really much.
Is it about the affordability when it comes to people, in other parts of the country?
Yeah, mostly. I try to make my products affordable, but we are in an economy where the Nigerian economy now just is wild.
Yes.
One day is okay, the next day is
I was
not.
actually
kind
going
of thing.
to ask, how have you been able to sustain the business despite everything going on in Nigeria
It's been
today?
really hard, especially this year. This year has been really hectic, honestly, because there's the economy, of course, the exchange rate, because most of the products I use, I source the raw materials here in Nigeria, but like the finished product, like the fabrics, the accessories, I import them. So now, because of the exchange rate, importing is really hard. That's one. And this year, there's the whole fuel scarcity, there's the whole no light ish. It's been really terrible.
So maybe the exchange rate thing could be a good thing. I mean, like, since if you're not importing, then maybe you start to look elsewhere for those things that you actually looked for before.
Yes, but the thing, Nigerian products are good.
Okay, all right.
They are good,
Yeah.
but because I'm already used to using, this Turkish fabrics, Italian fabrics, when I started using the Nigerian fabrics, I could see the difference.
Okay.
And now my customers always come back to me because of that luxury, luxury feel, like they could get an Italian furniture in Nigeria kind of feeling. Now, when I started, last year when I couldn't import fabrics from Turkey, I sourced for fabrics locally, but you could tell the difference. As much as I tried to get the best fabrics out there, you could still see the difference.
So it's like you already have a target customer base.
Yeah, of course, all businesses have target
No,
customers.
yeah, but still, you do have a couple of businesses that have the segment their customer bases. You understand? You have the ones with the Turkish, you have the ones with the Daria, and so on and so forth. But it seems like you basically, up there.
Yeah.
That's
very.
why most of your clients are from Abuja.
I think so. But my brand, I try to represent my brand based on luxury.
Okay.
That's if you talk about 511 Homes, I want you to talk about how luxurious the products are.
Okay.
So in order for me to actually sustain that, because I've already started. If to say I started with my Nigerian, fabrics and raw materials, that's good. I could just introduce the luxury aspect of the business. But I already started. It's been years. I can't go back now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So there's no hope for us?
No. Of course, there's hope for you. As much as I use imported materials, my products are actually really affordable. They're affordable.
Depending on how you look at it. All right. So when you design something, you just talked about your designs or your products being for luxury kind of thing. So, what takes precedence? Is it function or form?
Actually, there are two:
Okay.
function and comfort. This is what I consider when I'm designing stuff. I recently created a chair that has a cup holder here.
Okay.
This, you know, it's very spacious. You could lie down, you could do whatever. And, you know, the comfort aspect of it is the whole cup and desk. You know, it has like a little desk and a cup holder here where you can take your coffee and read your book. That's comfort. So whenever I design, this is what I look at. I look at the, you know, comfort aspect and also the functionality.
Yeah, I could just visualize that right
Yes.
now, and you know, and can you put your feet up?
Yes, you can actually lie down.
You
So
can lie
definitely
down,
put
yes.
your
You
feet
could
up.
stretch
Okay.
and read a book and have your cup of coffee by the side. You don't have to get up and, you know, you don't have to have like a desk beside you.
Okay.
All right, we'll take a quick breather and be back in a bit.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
The list, I think that's the
Actually here we're talking about prices, and it's like a heated debate right here in the studio when it comes to prices, and that was the reason why I asked if, you know, your, you know, furnitures were affordable, because that is one reason. Like, I know Kaduna people don't like all the, you know, expensive stuff. Not like some of them actually do, but even if they can afford it, they'd rather opt for something a lot more affordable and okay.
Yes, we like affordability.
Unlike, you know, people in Abuja who, you know, don't mind the pizzazz and the class and everything. And this might actually be a reason why you don't have so much customers in Kaduna. But have you ever thought about, you know, because you said you wanted to bring the headquarters to Abuja here, but that means you still have, like, you know, an office in Kaduna, and, you know, with time you will definitely spread out. Have you ever thought about, you know, creating something for the class of people in Kaduna?
I have thought about it. You know, sometime in 2020, I thought about it because I wanted to like create something, you know, like a set, because currently my set goes, the lowest is 450,000. So I wanted to at least create something of around 200,000 to people. But to be honest, it's really hard, because what I want, because I don't want to compromise on quality. I don't want to compromise on quality, and I don't want to compromise, like I said, on luxury. You could have an affordable stuff that is luxurious, that kind of thing. And just trying to, you know, get the materials that I wanted to use, because, like I said, I did not want to compromise on quality. The same wood I used to craft my chairs, I wouldn't want to change it from that of like 200,000. And it's been hard coming up with, you know, ways to accommodate that pricing for the, you know, people that you're talking about.
For us.
For us, yes, for us. So now, you know, times actually, you know, evolve with trends and everything. How are you able to keep yourself updated? And
Research. I research a lot. I'm a Pinterest junkie. I think I sleep on Pinterest every day because I'm always trying to look for inspiration out there, you know, online, on Pinterest. You know, I follow a lot of, you know, this Turkish furniture makers. So I try to drag inspiration from there. I would see a piece that I like. Maybe when I'm designing, I'll tweak it here and there to make it my own. So yeah, I research a lot.
Okay, so do you get more gigs, from people who want their own, who have their idea of what kind of furniture they want, or do people buy more of what you have at your display house?
I think I get more of bespoke orders. Like you said, the people that already have an idea of what they want. So they come in, we talk about what they want, and then I try to sketch it out, because most people, okay, maybe they would see a picture of something they like, and then they will show me, but then they will say, no, I don't like the legs, I don't like, this on the arms. And so outside, I would try to sketch it out to what they want, and then you'll see it. If it's something they like, then we'll go ahead and produce it.
All right, so, well, we talked about you having a factory in Kaduna and wanting to bring the headquarters back to Abuja as well. So any plans on other parts of the country?
For now, nothing. For now, I haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for now, it's just Abuja.
Yeah, for now, it's
Kaduna.
just Abuja. It was Lagos initially.
So what happened to Lagos?
I'm not ready for Lagos yet. Maybe in the next couple of years.
Okay. You need to do press up
Yes.
first. Okay.
I'm not ready for Lagos. Yes,
no.
but initially it was Lagos.
Okay, another question about the economy. We actually know how the economy is now, and we're aware that you have, staff who you have to pay at the end of the month, So, I don't know, how has it been for you? Like, how
To
do
be
you
honest,
pull
I'm not
through?
going to tell you it's great. Every end of the month, it's high BP for me. Because, okay, my brother takes care of the finances. My immediate brother, Mohammed, he takes care of the finances. And, every end of the month, he gets the heart attack because I try to stay away from all the finances of the company.
Okay.
Because I'm a wild spender as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's me, if I make money, I enjoy that kind of thing. But he studied economics, so he's more of a strict spender, so he takes care of the finances. So I can't really tell you, I don't really handle that aspect of the company.
Okay. But it is profitable.
Yes, it is a lot profitable.
Okay. But so
Alhamdulillah.
wait, I didn't even for how long have you been doing this?
6 years.
Okay. So you actually you survived the pandemic.
Yeah, I made a lot of money during the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
I think my revenue almost doubled the normal revenue that we make
How
during
so?
the pandemic, because I think a lot of people were at home, so they could see the problems with their homes. During when there was no pandemic, everybody was going out, but during the pandemic, there was a lockdown. A lot of people were stuck at home. A lot of people see the problems with their homes. You'll say, okay, this chair is actually not nice. I need to change it. You Google it. Even though we were, short in staff,
Okay.
because we had to cut down because of the whole lockdown thing. We had to our manpower was cut in half. We still made a lot of money during the pandemic because, like I said, a lot of people were at home. They could see the problems with their homes, and they needed repair ASAP, because if they're gonna see it like that, I don't really like it like that. Let me change it, kind of thing.
Okay, so your furniture line, is it strictly domestic, or are you into office furnishing as well?
Yeah, we furnish everything. We do homes, offices, kitchens, everything. When it comes to interior designing, anything you give me, I could bring it to life.
Okay. So so you say you have trainees.
Yeah.
So do you have like an internship program
Yes.
whereby somebody goes there, he enrolls and
Yeah, I currently have, I think, about 7 interns
okay.
that they come, and I think 1 apprentice.
Okay.
She comes from Mina, but she comes only in during the weekends, because I think, so she comes in and she tries, she goes to the workshop. They want to learn the whole craft of, making furniture.
Okay.
So that's why I think they're there.
So how long does it last, the
3
program?
months usually.
And they become professional?
They could, some of them I retain them. If you really show interest, usually the internship program is about 3 months, because most of them are sent from school. Most of them, they bring me their internship letter and then I enroll them. It's usually 3 months. But if I see that you really want to do it, that kind of thing, I would ask you if you want to stay, maybe come during the holidays if you can, And then they usually some I
Or
think I
it's
have
flexible
one
for them.
that has become my permanent staff now.
Okay.
Zara, yeah.
Okay. From an intern.
Yeah, from an intern.
Okay. And she's a lady as well.
Yeah, she's a lady.
Oh, all right. So you see, do you, how have you been able to do that? I mean, like incorporate other women and inspire them to do things like just like you're doing right now?
Most of my admin staff are women.
I see.
They're all, I think I have just 2 men in my if you enter the office, all you see is women. They're all women. Okay. So the men are in the workshop. They do the hard work.
Heavy lifting.
Yes.
Okay.
But most of my admin staff are women. And I try to teach them the whole interior design. If you're interested, because interior design is kind of like a feminine thing as opposed to furniture making. Okay. So if you want to expand to furniture making, then we'll introduce you to the workshop and you can start doing rounds and learning a few things.
Okay. So what does it take for me to enroll in your internship program? Is it just the interest?
Interest. That's just it.
Even if I don't have any skills whatsoever. Okay.
So what advice do you have for women who, want to follow their passion, but, they're still, laid back?
My advice has always been one, really. I always used to say, don't allow where you are right now to stop you from where you're going tomorrow. Because if you stay where you are and you restrict yourself from doing what you want to do, you'll never see what you can do tomorrow, that kind of thing. So, a lot of people, hide behind lack of funds. I am a Muslim, I'm a lady, Ariwa, my parents wouldn't allow me to do it, that kind of thing. If you stay there, because you have to push, if you keep accepting that you're a female and you're not going to be able to do it, you're still going to stay where you are. But if you push, if you push a little today, push a little tomorrow, push a little the day after, eventually you'll give in. So just don't allow where you are right now to stop you from where you'd be tomorrow.
All right. Well, but what about the ones who don't actually know where they even want to be tomorrow? that is also another question. How do they find that thing that they're passionate about?
It's within them. I can't really tell them how to find it. It's within them. They have to have that wild, long conversation with themselves and actually think, do I still want to be who I am tomorrow? Do I still, in like 5 months' time, would I still want to stay here? But, I don't have a 15 naira of my own. In 5 months' time, would I still want to not have 15 naira? That kind of thing. So you need to have that conversation with yourself and think about it. Would you still want to see yourself next year at the same spot where you are right now? If no, then you think about it. What is it that I'm good at? Start there. What is it that I like to do? During my normal leisure hours, what is it that I like to do? Do I like to you by the time you start having these conversations with yourself, eventually you'd figure out what you want to do.
So where do you see your business in 5-10 years?
Okay, in 10 years, definitely in Lagos.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah,
You'll be ready
in 10
for
years,
Lagos.
I'll be ready for Lagos. But in 5 years, I see my business moving here, of course, the headquarters here in Abuja. And I see myself furnishing a lot more houses and, making people happy.
And making yourself happy as well.
Of course.
While making bank at the same time.
All right.
While making serious bank at the same time. Yes. Just to reiterate what you talked about earlier about women or ladies trying to find that what they're passionate about and try to pursue it. No matter how far it takes them. But the thing is, one question that I always have is, or what I always come back to is, these ladies are not really restricted by the. It's not that they don't have the drive to do it. It doesn't like they don't have the passion to do it. But for how long or how much can you push without actually being considered as rebellious, because that is what what they're afraid of. You understand? Once you push too hard, they'll say, okay, you're going off the path. You're not where you're supposed to be.
Especially in the north.
Exactly, especially in the north that we are in right now.
I don't think I'm the right person to answer that because I never had that problem with my own family.
Okay.
So I didn't even need to push. It's that kind of thing that I just said I wanted to do and I got all the support that I needed. So I don't think I'm the right person to answer that question because I don't know for how long you're going to push how far you're going to push until they finally give in. I honestly don't have the answer for that.
But had it been you were in that position?
No, I am a very, stubborn person. So I know I'm going to push until they say I'm rebellious and allow me to do what I want to do.
Okay. All right.
All right, I think with that, we will wrap up this discussion. Thank you so much. I'm actually tempted to say 24-year-old. 27-year-old Hafsat Omar for, joining us today on Daybreak Extra. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and in your business as well. And, keep being, keep being, that figure that women actually look up to, because aside, furniture making and, interior designs, there are also other skill sets that a lot of women would love to, delve into. So, just keep pushing. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
So it was lovely having you on the show, and we look forward to having that that line.
Affordability.
Exactly, that line for a particular segment of customers.
There's one for the high class, there's one for the middle class. I don't know about the lower class, but the middle class, very important.
But the middle class can afford 450,000 naira furniture.
In this economy?
That's relative. So all right, so you change that, then we go lower.
All right, then thank you so much for having me. It was really nice talking to you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
All right, so we'll take a quick breather and be back in a bit. Do stay with us.